Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys is doing absolutely great. Today, I want to share with you how to make.
Have you seen flyers like this before that look so beautiful? You can see the light effects around the people's image and the flyer entirely. How about flyers like this? You see how beautiful this flyer looks, right? You can see some light effects around this flyer. How about this flyer? Wow. So I actually designed all these flyers I'm showing you with my smartphone. Then this flyer you see here as well. Very clean, very beautiful, very stunning, right? And then lastly, this image. Good. Now, you love all of them, I believe so. And I want to review one of the things that happens to be the secret for, or the secret behind the excellence you see. Of course, to a large extent, it has to do with the design itself, but the beauty, the excellence, the sharpness, the lightning effect is a function of something called lens flares. So as you can see around the man's neck here, there's something there that brightens it up, and I placed that stuff here again. They are called lens flares. I also applied the lens flares here. I also applied lens flares here. I also applied lens flares here. And I also applied lens flare here. Lens flares here. So I've made a video on my YouTube channel on how to use on lens flare, the app. I made a video on that on this YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched that video, please go and watch the video so you understand that there is an app called lens flare for applying lenses on images. Now this video is not on the app. We are not just trying to understand that there is an app called lens flare, or there's something called lens flare. The purpose of this video is how to place lens flares. I realize that many persons, they know lens flare, they use lens flares, but they don't know how to use it. That is to say, they use lens flares wrongly. Now, before we get into this video, I want you to help me do something. I want you to help subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed to it. Hit the subscribe button. Just click on that button with subscribe. The moment you click on it and it shows subscribed, it means you've subscribed. I think the color also changes. But don't only subscribe to this channel, like this video. Most persons watch and they don't like. I realize sometimes 100 and something, but it doesn't correspond with the number of likes. Like the video, but not only that, comment. I expect some questions in the comment section. Not only that, I also want you guys to help share the video. Share this video so it gets really far and be of help to many persons out there. And lastly, click on the notification bell so as to be notified when I post another video. Thank you so much. Now let's begin. Now I'm going to assume that some of you here don't even know what lens flare is, or the app. There is it right here, lens flare. So I want to say this: the app, you need to pay, you need to subscribe to use the app. And I just want to use this medium to advise us. I realize that most graphic designers, most persons, especially smartphone graphic designers, they don't like to pay for apps, and that is not good. Yes, they don't like to pay for apps, and that is not good. Learn to pay for the things that you need. If you realize that this app is important to you, why not go ahead and subscribe or pay for the app? This trying to avoid the beautiful effect that that app would give you just because of money that you have. For those who don't have, it's a different case, but many persons have but did refuse paying because they just feel like, why am I paying for an app? No, be driven with a sense of excellence. Let excellence be one of your pursuits in everything generally, but especially in your skill. So if your design is not as clean as you want, be willing to pay for it. So go ahead and pay for this app, and I believe you're not going to regret that. But if you didn't pay, you can search for the pro version of the app. Anywhere you get the pro version, I think you may use it. But the best is you should pay for the app. Yeah. Now if you don't want to pay, there's a way I advise some persons to maneuver. The pain is to remove the watermark. I believe you know that. And then I think to unlock some features, I think so. But majorly to remove the watermark. So there's a way I advise people on how to use the app. if they have that watermark challenge and they don't have money to pay, I said when you are done with your design on pixellab, you've done working on your design entirely, so that the next thing to do is to apply lens flares. What you do is that you take that design back to pixellab, import it not as a background this time, but as an image on top of a background, and place it in such a way that the top region where it occupies, it covers it completely. It covers it completely, and also ensure that every part of that design or that flyer is showing. And after that, ensure that there's a space at the base for the watermark. Create a space. That is to say, let the flyer, the design be on top of that slide, such that there's a space at the base for the watermark. So when you are done, you save, you now take it to lens flare, apply the lens flares, and then you crop out the watermark. That part containing the watermark, you crop it out, and then you are done. Right. So that's one of the ways to go about using the lens flare app without paying for it. Yeah, that's not too good, but it's better. It's better than not it's better than screenshotting it. You know, most time when you screenshot and crop, you realize that the quality really reduces. So the best way, apart from paying for the app, it's what I just said. Now this is the app. I think okay, I did this even before I left here. I realized that the app does not require data. So let's see, my data is off and I think we can still use it. So let me show us how to use lens flare. But before that, let me get back to some of the images. Now, if you study these images, you realize that I didn't just place lens flares anyhow on these images. I was careful. Didn't place lens flare anyway. I want to show us where are the places to place lens flares on a design or on an image, right? So that's the purpose of this video, so you don't place it wrongly, because if you do, you are going to have a result that is not excellent. And also I also tell us about lens flare, some things that people who use lens flares do that is not professional, that is not too good. So I'll say something about that in the process. So take note of these designs. I didn't just use the lens flares anyhow. I used them on particular parts of my design. Now let's get back to the lens flare app. So let me go import one of my designs on pixellab. Good. Okay, now this design right here is what I'm going to begin with. So I'll click on it. So let's try out one or two things. So this is the design, right? I've not used Lightroom on it. I've not used lens flare on it. I've not used Snapseed on it. So I'm going to just begin with lens flares now. So okay, you know what? Let me go and use that of Lightroom, not pixellab. Good. So this is it here that I've used Lightroom on, right? So this is what Lightroom did to the one you just saw. Now when I apply lens flare, now let me tell us where and where to use lens flares on images. The first that I know is around the neck region. The neck region, here or here, as in all these neck regions you're seeing me indicating here, are the places where you can use lens flares. Apart from neck regions, the side of foreheads around here, or around here, around here, or around here, like sides of foreheads. Those are other places where lens flares can be used. Now let's go ahead and try it out. So to use a lens flare, click here. After you click on that, find any lens flare you want to use here. So let's say I want to use this one. So after clicking on it, I realize that this size is very large. What do? I pinch to reduce the size to what I want. So as I've reduced the size to this, I now place it, I think I should reduce it a little more. Good. Now place it here. Now, I love this particular lens flare so much, but I realize it has a little challenge. And what's the challenge? There's this drop like kind of light, like something like, I don't know, you're taking out. Let me bring it out so you see it clearly. Yeah, hence this thing here. Yeah, it's not just cycle. It have an extension somehow that doesn't look nice. So most times when I'm using this, I turn the lens flare in such a way that that droplet is not showing in a way that doesn't look good. For instance, it being like this does not make sense, doesn't look good. I'm coming. Yeah. So those droplets are showing on this man's suit. So what I do is that I try as much as possible to rotate it in such a way that those part of that lens flare is on a part of the design that is not visible. For instance, can you find it again? No. The reason is because this man's background is having the same color as the lens flare with similar color such that those droplets are not shown, right? So that's what I do. Somehow I just turn it in such a way that those extension or that extension doesn't show, right? Okay, now this is what we have. So I said sorry. Okay, so I said about what? I said about sorry, this thing is not still good. Now I said about placing lens flares around neck region, right? But that's not all of it. And after placing at this region, I still need to work on this lens flare. How? I think I need to add a little saturation here. How did I even get that? It was like this, right? So I clicked here and then the tools popped up. So I decided to click on saturation, add it a little. Good. Click on this again. Sorry, click on it again. Contrast. I don't. Some of these things are not really necessary. The next two is the opacity. There's a mistake that most graphic designers who use lenses or lens flares do. That is not right. When you use lens flare and you realize it's like this, you don't just save your work. This looks very, very bright. Like the lens flare is too much. That's why we have the opacity tool. So you click on your opacity tool and reduce it. Don't be afraid, reduce it to a good extent. Okay, something like this, right? Let's see, something like this. So your lens flare shouldn't be too much. It shouldn't be too much. If it's too much, it won't look professional. So after this, I can click on my check mark. To save myself the route of doing the same thing, I'll just have to duplicate it. So when I duplicate it, it appears on top of the first one. So I'll click on the screen and drag it and bring that one here. Good. Still around their neck regions, right? See how beautiful this, right? Is right. So I'll still duplicate this, but this time I might decide to place this on his head, as in what was it called again? Is the side of his forehead. Good. And I still want to duplicate it again and drag it this way and place it at the side of this man's forehead. You see? So this is how to place lens flares. And I might decide to still duplicate it and bring that one here. But does this look so nice here? Not really. The reason is because it looks nice already. Yeah, I might decide to leave this like this. In fact, let me click here and reduce the opacity. I might decide to leave this like this, or I'll click on this, go to color, it's my color tool, and adjust the color to see how it can blend with the background. That background is orange, right? So I think this should be okay. Orange should be around here now. Something like this, right? You see? So this now looks nice. Or I might want to reduce the opacity more. Something like this. Good. So I placed it on the forehead, but I didn't say that to be one of the places to place lens flares on people's images. I said neck and I said on side of forehead, right? But you can also place it on top of the head, but you need to be careful. One place I know you shouldn't just place lens flare like that is where on the person's face. You don't just bring one lens flare and place it. No, 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 no. It doesn't make sense that way at all, right? So this is one of the ways to place lens flares. This is one of the ways. I think I should reduce the opacity of this very first one a little. Good. Click on my check mark. So when I'm done, I can now click on my save. like this, and my work would be saved, right? Good. Now, still on how to place lens flares, but this time I want to use another flyer. So let's click. It says, are you sure you want to leave this page? I'll click on my yes, click on select image, go to, there's my Lightroom. Good. Let's go find this. Yeah. So I'm not going to be spending time placing the ones around these neck regions and sides of forehead, because I just showed us in the previous on the previous flyer, right? So I'm going to do that in this particular flyer. I'm not going to do that in this particular flyer. Rather, I'm going to do another place to place lens flares. Now, this is it. A lot of persons don't know that you can actually place lens flares on text, and it looks really nice. Yes, in fact, one of the ways to give your text contrast is by placing lens flares on them. This is a secret. It's very important you know it. So let's begin. Let's click here and click here for a flare, for a lens flare. And we're going to reduce the size and bring it here. Wow, this looks really, really nice. The next thing I want to do now is to click on it and then go reduce the opacity. Nice. Something like this. Good. Click on my check mark. I might still decide to copy this, that's duplicate it, and bring the other one here. Let's see. And this one, I think this time around, I'll have to reduce opacity to something like this. Good. So you see, oh, what's it called? Lens flares can be, let me see, reduce the opacity. Lens flares can be placed on text too. It brings the text out, it highlights it, it gives it contrast. Good. So I think now the last way of, let me save this too. The last way of placing lens flares on images is this. Let me just show us this. I think I should use this bit of the flyer now. Now this, it's what you do is that you there are ways you place lens flares like this. For instance, this picture, I'm not really placing the lens flare beside her neck. I'm placing the lens flare around a region here, like just take note of this region. Now place it in such a way that the lens flare is going to extend to her face, as in at the side of her face, in such a way that it's going to look really beautiful. So I'm going to place it like this. Then I can begin to do what I want to do. You see? So that's how some of my designs are. I just place a lens flare here, and sometimes I increase the size just as the case may be. And most times this kind of placement, there's no picture here, but on that side of the design, in fact most times they are church flares, on that side it looks nice. I think the best flyer should be that church flyer I showed us. Where is it? Lightroom. Is the church flyer, right? Okay, may not be the best, but I think I'll still use it. Now I'm going to place this somewhere here. Then I think I should add more saturation to it to blend with the background. Good. And then I'm now going to do what? Reduce the opacity a little. No saturation. Opacity. Good. You see? Does this look nice? Of course. Yeah, sorry. You see this this extension here? I'm just realizing it. So what do? I'll rotate this. Rotate this way. Good. Yeah. Good. So I can now reduce the opacity a little, something like this. So this is another place to place lens flares. So we are just discussing how and where, and thank God we've learned all this. Let me add the saturation a little. Good. So when we are done like this, we can now click and save. So that is how and where to to place your lens flares neck region, beside forehead, on text, and at the edges of your design. Certain edges, like at the top right, at the top left, and sometimes even at the top base, and at the base right, and at the base left. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, click the subscribe button. Just click that subscribe button if you haven't. Let it be showing subscribe. That's how you encourage me to keep uploading videos here. That's how my YouTube channel grows. Most persons watched but they didn't subscribe, and that's not good. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. You are not paying, you are just clicking. And also like the video, comment, and then share. And if you want to be notified whenever I post a new video, click on the notification bell, that bell button. Click on it, so when I post, YouTube notifies you. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.
Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we post new videos.